So here we are, the start of an exciting project. This is a 1967 Morris LD stringer-bodied ambulance. It's a fiberglass body on a Morris LD chassis and running gear. Now I bought this in lockdown when I was looking for a van. I gave up on modern vans, too expensive, too many miles. So I bought this and then also bought another van. So the idea is it's very much worse for wear. So I like to keep my classics, but I'm making an exception in this case. So we're taking all the running gear out of it, and we've got some modern stuff which we're going to go put in instead and make it a daily van. So at the moment, rather ironically, last year I spent about half the year turning vehicles into camper vans for a TV show, and then I went and bought this, which is currently a 1980s chipboard camper van, and I'm going to turn it into a van for my work. So that's the reason I want modern running gear. I want to be able to drive it all over the country where I end up going working, tow the trailer with it and put my tools in it. So here we go. Got it all cleared out in the shed, got it hooked up to the forklift, and Adam very skillfully towed it into the workshop, and it just goes in under the doorway there. So absolutely made for it. So the idea is get that in, drop off all the running gear, take it out, and then take in the donor vehicle and strip that out as well. So here's proof of Adam's skillful driving. Look at that. Let's get out that gap there. Skills! So now we have it in the workshop. Made a bit of room for it. As you can see, the back is absolutely full of stuff because I decided to use it as a storage unit, so I cleared that out. So as you can see, there's lots of bits of plywood and chipboard. It's someone spent a long time making this, probably in the 70s or 80s. I don't like any of this internal stuff, and it's quite rotten and not very pleasant. So it's time to take it out. So as I said, I've accumulated quite a bit of insulation and all sorts of rubbish. So before we knew it, the whole workshop was full of absolute detritus. But it didn't take long. And of course, I've been storing parts I've been collecting for this, like new hubcaps and most importantly, an electric dingly bell for the ambulance. So that's all in there as well. So pry bar and a hammer was employed here. They are the tools for the job. I think it's curtains for these. I can only apologise for that joke. I don't really know what I was thinking. Anyway, work continues into the night, stripping out the remnants of the carpet and everything to reveal the original ambulance floor. So the floor is raised up in the back. There's a step into it. The floor sits on top of the chassis, and then the step drops down behind the chassis because the bodies on these are coach built. So that's the way they did it. So there was this awful sort of chipboard bulkhead thing above the seats. So I presume it was for keeping blankets and bedding. Took all that out. And then the next job was to remove the front seats and floor, because the front seats are currently positioned literally where the door opening is. So when you open the door, you can't get in because the seat's there. The plan is to change the placement of where the engine is, move it further back and actually sit on top of it. So that was the next job, set about trying to get the engine out. So we took the nose off, took the radiator out, and then it was time to take off the front axle. So we strapped this up and then just cut the U-bolts. Then cut the engine cross members out because all the nuts had just rounded off and turned to cheese. I think it's lived by the sea for about 20-30 years. And then we dropped the engine out by lifting the van up on the car lift. This engine is going to be recycled. Somebody else who's restoring one of these has come to take it away. It's going to come and take it away along with the axles. So it's all going to get recycled. And of course the parts that are going on it, they're all second hand, so yet more recycling. Could this be the ultimate green machine? So there's the engine, and there's the heap of stuff that came out of it. Really did take a lot. So time to load that all into the back of the lorry to take it away to be responsibly disposed of. Now that lorry is the donor vehicle. It's a 2002 Nissan Cabster lorry pickup truck, whatever you want to call it. I chose this because it's forward control, the steering box is in front of the wheels, it's very similar engine size, the track width, the wheelbase of it are all very, very similar to the ambulance. Now, some of you might think it's quite boring putting it in a diesel engine. Yes, it is, but I want this to go together as quickly and as well as possible. So it was important for me to get something that looked like it would fit pretty well. So there's the big hole we've opened up. I discovered a part of the chassis that was really in pretty poor condition. So letting in some new metal here. This is the Artec Pro 250 MIG again. And the thing is with welders, the real test of a welder is welding rusty or old metal. And this did a fantastic job of it. No complaints, no blowholes or anything. And that's really where a welder is tested on its merits. So there we go, that's in. Part 2 will be coming soon.